I found her behind the waste silos of Outpost 17 Beta, curled into a ball between rusted crates and half-shredded ration wrappers. At first glance, I thought she was some kind of scavenger animal, until she looked up. Eyes too large for her gaunt face, skin that shimmered faintly with a hue I'd only seen in Zolari databanks. She couldn't have been more than 8 or 9 years old, if their species aged anything like ours. Her arms were wrapped around her knees, bones sharp under that pale violet skin, and her lips were cracked, dry. She didn't blink. Just stared, like a cornered thing waiting for the strike. I froze. Not because I was afraid, but because I recognized the look in her eyes. I'd seen it before. On war fronts. In refugee zones. On Earth, during the food shortages. Hunger wasn't just physical, it was a silence, a breaking of something inside. That silence screamed from her eyes. I crouched slowly and unwrapped the emergency ration bar from my vest. I'd saved it for the end of my shift, my only meal for the next 12 hours. I didn't say anything. Just held it out. She flinched. I waited. No sudden moves. She sniffed once, then again. Her small hand reached out, paused, then snatched the bar like it might vanish. She devoured it, chewing slow but desperate, eyes still locked on mine. When our fingers brushed, I felt it, a wave of something unfamiliar. Not just gratitude. Not even fear. It was deeper. Like she was broadcasting every ounce of suffering she couldn't put into words. And under it all, hope. I didn't know then what she was. I didn't know what helping her would cost me. But in that moment, I knew one thing. She wasn't just another alien. She was my responsibility. Her name wasn't something I could pronounce, not exactly. Zolari language isn't spoken, it's asterisk felt star. Emotional pulses layered with light, scent, and subtle telepathic cues. So I called her Syrah. She didn't object. In fact, when I said it the first time, she smiled. It was the first time I saw something other than fear in her. I kept her hidden. Outpost 17 Beta wasn't exactly a sanctuary. It was a mining colony, a corporate strip mine on a half-terraformed moon where workers were treated like disposable tools. The company didn't care about stray children, especially not alien ones. And the people? Well, years of dust, isolation, and poor pay tend to grind empathy down to the bone. I smuggled Syrah into my quarters through the old maintenance tunnels. Tucked her into a nest of blankets beside the waste heat vent. She slept for 16 hours straight, twitching in her sleep like she was still running. When she woke, I had a nutrient packet warmed and ready. She drank it down without a word. Her eyes followed every move I made, studying me like I might disappear or transform into something else. Over the next few days, I brought her more old datapads with child learning apps, water purification tablets, even a cracked holoprojector that played 20th century Earth cartoons. She loved those. No words, no translations, just movement and laughter. She started mimicking them, humming the jingles, smiling more often. But she still wouldn't talk. Not out loud. And things started happening. Lights flickering when she got upset. My heartbeat syncing with hers if I sat too close. One night, I dropped a hot mug, and it froze midair, hovered, then gently floated to the floor. I didn't understand it. But I wasn't afraid. Whatever Syrah was, I'd already decided. She wasn't going back to the dark. The collapse hit without warning. 1 minute I was checking a power relay on level C, the next the ground shook like a titan had punched the moon. Sirens screamed, lights flickered, and my comm crackled with panicked shouts. A support column had given out in Shaft 9, half the crew was trapped under tons of rock and twisted metal. I didn't think. I just ran. The shaft was chaos. Dust filled the air like fog, and emergency lights blinked red through the haze. I could hear shouting from beneath the debris, muffled, frantic. I dropped to my knees and started digging with bare hands. Others joined me. Time blurred into aching muscles and blooded knuckles. Then suddenly, I felt something. Not pain. Not fear. A cry. It wasn't in my ears, it was in my mind. I turned. Syrah stood just beyond the rubble line, her tiny frame silhouetted in the emergency glow. She shouldn't have been there. I'd locked the hatch behind me. She looked terrified, but also focused. Her hands rose slowly. Her eyes shimmered, not with tears, but with a faint, pulsating blue light. And then the rock's moved star. Not all at once. At first, it was a trickle. A piece of twisted metal slid to the side. A boulder lifted, groaning as if reluctant. The others stared, frozen. I stepped back, breath caught in my throat as an entire slab floated upward like it weighed nothing. Beneath it, 3 miners, alive but barely conscious. She saved them. Without a single word. The moment shattered in a wave of whispers and fear. They saw what she did, and I saw the way they looked at her afterward. Not like a child. Like a weapon. And I knew then, we weren't safe anymore. We ran that night. There was no time to pack, no time to think. I grabbed what I could, rations, a medkit, my old sidearm. Syrah clung to my side, her fingers wrapped tightly around mine, trembling but silent. Her eyes darted to every shadow, sensing what was coming before I heard it, the low thrum of a corporate dropship breaking through the upper atmosphere. Containment team. They weren't security. They weren't doctors. They were cleaners. Erasers. The kind you send when a situation becomes *inconvenient*. The kind that leave no questions behind. We ducked into the old utility tunnels beneath the colony's southern ridge, forgotten maintenance paths choked with ice, rust, and long-dead machinery. The air was sharp and metallic. Syrah barely made a sound. She was exhausted, but she kept moving, eyes wide with that same silent determination. Twice, we passed scouting drones. I held her close, breath frozen in my throat, as their searchlights swept past just inches above our heads. Both times, I felt something, a strange warmth in the air, a soft ripple like a bubble expanding around us. The drones didn't see us. She was shielding us. Her abilities were growing. After hours of crawling, we surfaced near the crater fields. The sky stretched black above us, dotted with stars. In the distance, the old cargo tram station stood like a grave monument, abandoned, half-collapsed, and perfect for hiding. I activated my private comm beacon. A code I hadn't used in years. A favor I'd been saving for something I hoped would never come. Mayday, I whispered. Civilian extraction needed. Off book. I have a child. Non-human. They're trying to kill her. There was a pause. Then, hold position. We're coming. But I knew it wouldn't be fast enough. Because the containment team had already found our trail. The first shot lit up the sky like lightning. I shoved Syrah behind a stack of broken tram crates as the bolt sizzled past my head and slammed into the dirt, throwing up a plume of dust and heat. The containment team wasn't wasting time. They came in with armor, drones, and silence. No warnings. No negotiation. Just precision and violence. I fired back. Old instincts kicked in. I moved between cover points, squeezing off shots to slow them down. My rifle was outdated, low charge, and overheating fast. I knew I couldn't hold them for long. I wasn't a soldier anymore. But I wasn't alone. Syrah stepped out from behind the crates, hands raised, eyes glowing bright now, pure, electric blue. No! I shouted, but she didn't flinch. A drone surged toward her, hovering, scanning, targeting. And then it stopped. Dead still in the air. The drone twitched once, then spiraled upward like it had been yanked by a string. It exploded mid-air. The soldiers hesitated. That was their mistake. Syrah moved her hands in a slow, circling motion. The air around us shimmered, distorted like heat waves off a reactor coil. A containment trooper fired. The bolt froze mid-air, then snapped backward, slamming into his own chest plate and knocking him off his feet. The others began shouting, backing away. But then came the net round. I turned too late. It hit me square in the chest, the shockwave paralyzing every nerve. I collapsed, body locking up as my vision swam. Syrah screamed, not with her voice, but inside my skull, a wave of pain and fury so strong it nearly made me black out. Then I saw the muzzle flash. Then everything went dark. I woke to silence. No sirens, no gunfire, just the soft hum of a medbay pod and the faint rhythm of my own heartbeat echoing in my ears. The air was clean. Sterile. Not like the recycled staleness of Outpost 17 Beta. I blinked against the white overhead lights, muscles aching, a sensation returned to my limbs. Then I turned my head and saw her. Syrah, curled up on a medical recliner next to me, asleep. Her chest rose and fell steadily. Electrodes were gently placed along her arms and forehead, but she wasn't restrained. She was safe. And we were no longer on the moon. A familiar voice broke the moment. She stayed awake the entire trip. Sat by your side like a sentry. Scared half my crew to death. I turned to see Admiral Vasquez, retired, technically, but she'd never really left the game. She stood with arms crossed, hair streaked with grey, eyes sharp as ever. She looked older than I remembered, but no less dangerous. "You cashed in your favor," she said. "Thought it was going to be something simple. A smuggling run. Maybe a rogue AI. But this asterisk." She tapped a holopad. Footage played, Syrah lifting debris, deflecting energy blasts, shielding me with raw force. Readout scrolled beside it. Neurological scans. Energy spikes. Genetic markers that didn't match anything in current Alliance records. "She's not just Zalari," Vasquez said quietly. "She's something else. Something old star." We cross-referenced some pre-extinction data. Her people were symbiotic, able to connect, amplify. Healers. Peacekeepers. But they were hunted to extinction for refusing to become weapons. I stared at Syrah. She looked so small. So tired. "And now?" I asked. "She bonded to you," Vasquez said. "Emotionally. Maybe neurologically. Either way, you're her anchor." And we weren't just fugitives anymore. We were something far more dangerous. Evidence. We didn't go back to Earth. There was nothing for us there, not with half the Alliance whispering about contaminated assets and unauthorized first contact anomalies. Vasquez offered us something better. Her fleet wasn't official, funded by quiet allies and buried under layers of deniable operations. But it moved star. It reached places the core worlds ignored. Border colonies. Broken stations. Refugee ships limping through the dark. And now, it had a new mission. Syrah became its heart. She didn't speak, not with words, but she communicated in other ways, emotions, gestures, dreams. I watched as wounded soldiers calmed in her presence. I saw children from ruined planets sleep soundly for the first time in weeks just from holding her hand. She couldn't fix every wound. But she felt them. Absorbed them. And sometimes, she gave something back, peace, stillness, strength. She wasn't a weapon. She was a reminder of what we could be. But not everyone saw it that way. The Alliance Council declared her an unclassified anomaly. Independent contractors, bounty hunters, even old corporate rivals began tracking our fleet's movements. They feared her, or worse, wanted to control her. One night, a stealth cruiser decloaked above a refugee convoy we were escorting. No warning. Just a message, surrender the girl or be fired upon. I stood between them and our ship's airlock. Rifle in hand. Heart pounding. But before I could speak, Syrah stepped forward. And then she sang star. Not with sound, with light, energy, memory. Everyone felt it. Across every deck, every frequency. It wasn't just communication. It was a connection star. They didn't fire. They couldn't star. And when the ship retreated, we knew the truth. Syrah wasn't just changing lives. She was changing the galaxy. And it all started the day I gave a starving alien child more than food. I gave her a reason to hope.